We all feeling ready?
Yeah.
Y'all been ready. Okay. Here on the Sip Sota Show, we sit down with people and organizations that somehow, someway, make the world better. Come hang out with us. Get connected, get educated. I guarantee you're going to get uplifted. I'm your host, Unapologetically Anna. Let's go. With Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes is the co-executive producer of a show called Disability Viewpoints. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a real honor.
I'm honored that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
What's funny is I've seen your show, I've seen you in the studio, and I've always wanted to meet you, and then I ran into you, and I'm like, how lucky can a girl get?
Well, things in life, people's paths cross for a reason.
That's right. That's right.
And I was excited to meet you also. And so God works in strange and wonderful ways.
Yep. And we just have to notice and appreciate the blessings.
That's exactly right.
So just with me in the studio earlier was Jillian Nelson, who I sit on the Mayor's Advisory Committee for People with Disabilities with, and you used to sit on that committee.
I was lucky enough to be chairman in two separate runs for the Mayor's Committee for People with Disabilities. And, they're issues much the same as you probably handle now. And one of the bigger things we did, I think, was on Lexington Avenue. We got an automated traffic signal put in. And that took some doing, and it's very expensive. So we.
What do you mean automated?
Well, like it verbally tells you when you cross the street and does the countdown, so you don't get.
Oh, good work. Good work.
It's for visually impaired. But anyways, so it was expensive. So we did it the same day Minneapolis did. So did ours first. We sent the same crew over to Minneapolis to get theirs. So it's collaborative.
Yeah,
as those things are.
Yes. I don't think people realize how much accessibility is out there and what it is. Like, there's a reason the signals go and that's for visually impaired people.
Exactly.
I didn't realize that when you press the button to activate the walk signal, it has an arrow. Mm-hmm. So if you're visually impaired, that arrow is telling you which direction.
Exactly.
When they put them on light posts, sometimes the arrows send people into traffic.
Exactly right.
So now there's the new adaptable where they fix them. It's like an arm on the post. But I never knew that was a thing, or that they were being put up incorrectly.
Yeah, well, we live and learn,
Yeah, but that's why the Mayor's Advisory Committee is so important.
Right.
Or disability advocacy, which you do a lot of.
I do. I just, it's inbred in me, and I've enjoyed every minute I've been in the House and Senate, testified a lot, ran the Mayor's Committee, Minnesota Council on Disabilities, was on there for 12 years, and that time goes by just like that.
Yeah.
But you handle the issues just about the same. But St. Paul Mayor's Committee is more localized, and the Minnesota Council on Disability is statewide. We have a committee of about 12 people that meet quarterly, and so it's really interesting to meet people from the different parts of the state of Minnesota and find out really what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about Disability Viewpoints. How did that start? What is it?
I was riding in a boat one day. True story.
True story. Okay.
Yeah. And I told my dad I was going to create a TV show. He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Yes, I am." So I wrote it, and then I looked up a guy named Gene Jayberg. He's gone before us now, but he worked at TPT2, which is PBS here, at one time. And I was on the air with him in high school, trying to get grants for disabled to have job employment. I try to be a big advocate for employment for people with disabilities. At any rate, he worked at CTV over in Roseville, which is a studio much like this. And so we hooked up, he looked at it, and we ran a pilot. And it worked.
And it worked.
And it's still going after about 27 years.
How old were you when you were on that boat?
Oh, I was, God, I got to think now. I was about 38.
Okay, so I thought you were going to say 5. I was going to say
Well,
that's a long,
no, that's true.
it's a long dream.
It's true. I've always liked boats, but I always wanted to do on-air television work, and this was my way to do it. But you had to create it yourself and do it, and it worked.
So you're doing it with a purpose.
Right.
Which, and again, thank you for being on the show today. This is a Magnolia Mouths Media production. Magnolia Mouths Media was created to make meaningful media with a purpose, to connect, educate, uplift, because, we are inundated with really crappy media, for not even lack of a better word. I don't want to use a better word.
Well, it's very competitive. There are more ways to find out. We know when we do a show like Disability Viewpoints, we're going to have people thumbing through the cable dials.
Yeah.
And we hope they stop to listen to one thing we say, because you're probably going to learn something that you didn't know before you had the show on. And we know that people probably aren't going to watch the whole half hour because they're usually not interested. And that show was created as a thank you to Shriners Children's Twin Cities, as a thank you because I was a patient at Shriners Hospital in Minneapolis for a long time. I had 35 surgeries on my feet, caught gangrene, pretty near lost my leg, got infection, and we survived that and went on, and it's been a great life,
All because of, what is your primary diagnosis?
I was born with a mild case of cerebral palsy. When you are born, your brain up here and your oxygen, or your motors in your leg have to get the same amount of oxygen, or some oxygen to run. The ones that were in my legs didn't get enough oxygen, so I got a mild case of cerebral palsy. So.
And just to backtrack, I don't know exactly why. I have multiple diagnoses of different things, but I despise the term primary diagnosis. So, but sometimes it's mandatory. But anyway, thank you for sharing that with us.
Right.
And we're going to talk more about that and Disability Viewpoints right after this short break. Thank you to our sponsors, Non-Labs Thrift, promoting community and sustainability. And thank you to Pilates for the People, making Pilates available to everyone. So, Mark, tell me, what kind of people come on Disability Viewpoints?
Well, we try to cover the whole gambit, housing, employment, transportation.
Yes.
Transportation is a big issue here in the Twin Cities.
Yep.
And there's a lot of work to be done. Mm-hmm. And different things like that. We've tried to have bands on to make it a little more, lighten it up a little bit.
Spicy.
A little bit of entertainment, magicians, anything like that.
I love all the topics you said. I'm obviously passionate about every single one of them. I know that people who aren't faced with a disability don't understand what all it takes, because thank you for being passionate about employing people with disabilities. That's a big one. I went through a long period of my life where I wouldn't ask for accommodations because if I did, I wouldn't get a job, right? I mean, that's just reality.
Well, I don't know what you have to be afraid of, though.
In Mississippi, I was.
Okay. Yeah, a little different deal down there.
Yeah. I remember coming to Minnesota and lying. I lied when I got a job at the state capitol.
Sorry.
And then about 3 months into it, I came clean, and I'm like, I just didn't know that people care. And that's sad.
The fact of the matter is you got there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You crossed home plate, you got there.
Yeah, I crossed home plate.
But the one blessing that I've had with my disability is I had mine from birth. I didn't get in an accident and then all of a sudden have to have my house remodeled or different
You've
things.
learned. Your whole life has been navigated.
That's what I've known, and I've had a good family behind me that encouraged me. And I always say, always encourage you, not discourage you. The car might not start, but it might if you try.
Yes,
So,
I love that.
So there you go.
So back to Disability Viewpoints. Has Disability Viewpoints ever won an award? You know what I'm asking.
Yeah, it has. We've had a really good run for a while. We've won 7 or 8 National Hometown Media Service Award, which they put out the entries once a year. And we've won many years ago. I haven't won one recently, and I really would like to, before I hang it up, but I'm not going to retire, so don't worry. My hair just looks like that. but I'm not going to retire. And I really would like a daytime Emmy to put up there.
Yeah.
And that's what my goal is.
I love that. Let's manifest that.
Yeah.
I manifest Disability Viewpoints wins a daytime Emmy.
Well, we're in it together, so just stick with me here. But that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. So when you discuss all the topics that affect the disabled community, and that really opens your guest up to an array of individuals, community leaders, people who are also in the disabled community.
The governor, PCA issues.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them.
I love it.
Yeah.
And people can watch on SPNN, St. Paul
Right.
Neighborhood Network, which is where we are. And let's give a big thanks to St. Paul Neighborhood Network.
Absolutely.
Here's one thing that people don't realize about St. Paul Neighborhood Network. St. Paul Neighborhood Network builds community.
They do.
Where did I meet you? Here.
Right here.
St. Paul Neighborhood Network.
Yeah.
And I've met tons of people just by waiting for the studio, or I'm using an editing booth, because creatives use this space. St. Paul Neighborhood Network lifts voices of the St. Paul community, and they focus on voices that aren't lifted in mainstream media, because I'll speak as a disabled person, we don't have all the money, right?
No.
Or the BIPOC community, or the LGBTQ community, and St. Paul Neighborhood Network says, we'll help you, we'll teach you, we'll train
Right.
you. We build community and they live voices.
Right.
So
And there's other shows that are done here that they have a open house every year, and you can come on and connect with everybody, board members, everything. It's really been a great studio.
they come, they meet me at SPNN, and they volunteer and they work really hard, and you'll see all their names in the credits.
These are really some great people. A lot of them have done Disability Viewpoints too, which I'm forever grateful. And without them, we're not on the air. And
Yes.
it's an important thing. So
I know who you're talking about. I'm going to shout them out specifically.
Yeah.
We have Priest Brantley in the house. We have Rufo Romero in the house, and they have helped on your show as well.
right.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah,
You know who
thanks.
we are.
Hey, let everybody clap for yourself right now.
Yeah, you know who we are.
Yeah.
You know who we are. So
What do you think is the most challenging piece of disability advocacy?
now that the federal money is
Drying up.
going aside, there'll be many of them. I can't begin to tell you. SNAP benefits is one I can think of right off the top of my head. That on Saturday, November 1st, they're not renewing for the month.
Yep.
And I don't use that, thank the Lord, but people who do, that's how they get their groceries. Now, Governor Walz was kind enough to set aside some money to help out, temporarily, and that's the great thing. But we need the federal money. Now,
Yeah.
Metro Mobility is going to become back to a state program, and that'll make it even tougher.
Yeah.
But we'll keep our eye on it, keep watching.
So
But-
we're running out of time, but that was one thing I meant to get to earlier, is that when people use Metro Mobility, first of all, I'm thankful the service exists.
Right.
But you have a 2-hour window. So if you are picked up, if you ask for a ride to get to a doctor's appointment at 2, and your pickup window is from 11 to 1, if they get there at 11, you might be waiting at the doctor's office for 2 hours. And I don't think capable people think about that.
No, you'll either wait at the doctor's office or you'll be late, and you don't want to do that.
But imagine, people get mad if their doctor's running 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Mark's an important fellow.
No.
He can't go off. Imagine someone having to wait 2 hours without a disability. They're fuming. But people with disability are fighting all sorts of things, plus having to wait. I mean, pick your battles, people. Practice some patience and respect the challenge.
There's a lot of challenges with that, because if you live in a non-certified ADA area, you can set your ride up for 10 o'clock, let's say. They can call you and make your ride either 9 o'clock or 11. Well, out the door goes your 10 o'clock window. But also, in the beginning of the morning, there's PCA issues. Your PCA has to get there to help you.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to go. You might have 2 or 3 other pickups ahead of you, or you might come directly. So it's it's an open white picture, you know.
Well, with that said, I want to encourage you to keep lifting voices, keep producing. May you win 3 Emmys. And thank you for coming on the show.
Like I say, I'm not retiring, and you know, in the disability world, a show like this, we're getting busier. You know, you could do 2 shows a month here in this studio, but you have to have sponsors, and that's really the hard part, because every corporation's feeling the same financial straits that we are in the disability committee. So,
everyone's getting the pinch.
So, yeah.
But thank you for suiting up today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your patience with us.
You're welcome. No problem.
And again, keep lifting.
I've been in television since, God, I was 19 years old, I think, when I started.
He is not going anywhere.
And my hair was no, I'm not. My hair was brown. But I understand all these things about television.
Yeah.
So don't worry, I felt right at home.
Oh, yay. Well, thank you so much. And
Thanks for having me. True honor.
yeah. Thank you for watching.
Love to do it again.
Until next time. Thanks for watching